Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm going to do a quick reading. Maybe not quick. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Hope everyone is doing well. Today is my mother's birthday and also my Aunt Sandy's birthday. We've got the world. So it's the ending of a cycle. Something is coming to a close. We've got... I don't know, there's much more to say about that. Something's coming to an end. Could be something good, could be something bad, because everything always comes to an end. And it's with those endings that we get our new beginnings. So you can't have a new beginning without an ending. That's the beauty of it. One door closes, another one opens. You've heard all the sayings. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse and the Fool in reverse. So, we've got the ending. And with the Hanged Man in reverse, looking at it from the perspective of something ending instead of the new beginning part, you're actually preventing the new beginning. So, you see this Hanged Man, she's looking at it the way she always did, right? She's not inverted. So, she is not expanding her views on the ending. She just sees an ending. And if you look at this world card, she's walking forward and looking up and trusting the divine and the sacred geometry within. Everything is connected. Everything overlaps. Everything is in our highest good, ultimately. We have to remember that. And looking at it with old eyes, right? You're not looking at it with your new perspectives, with your new sight. I don't want to say new eyes, but it's new knowledge, right? You've gained all this knowledge, but you're still looking at things the old way. And that will prevent your new beginning. You know, things might feel like they're turned upside down. You might feel like the weight of the world on your shoulders. You might feel like the divine is not there to catch you because you're stalled, right? You're too busy looking at this ending to look at the beginning. It's the energy of not wanting things to change, not wanting the new beginning that is promised with this Eight of Cups. That's walking away from things that no longer serve you. This is what you have to do. It's, yeah, you've invested a lot of time and you've invested a lot of energy, but it's time to walk away and know that that energy, you did what you came here to do, basically. You can't sit in it. You can't stay there forever. You know, growth and change and evolving involves a certain amount of letting go. It's in that letting go of those things that no longer serve us and letting those cycles come to an end that we get our new beginning. So the divine is telling you, let it go with grace, let it go with love, let it go. I don't know what it is we're letting go. I kind of want to ask, we'll ask the witches what it is they think we should let go of. Let's see, what is this world all about? Hanged Man again, in reverse. It is screaming at you to look at things from a new perspective. I'm going to read the Hanged Man in reverse because we've gotten it twice now and I want to make sure I'm getting it right. But that is selfishness, feeling like a victim. Again, looking at that ending, right? Looking at at things the old way. That victim mentality. Look at him. He's tied to a tree this way. But is he really tied to that tree? Did he get put there? Did he put himself there? It's unclear, right? This way, you can see the bird with the message, right? This way, he can't see it. He's looking up. He can't see that message. He's not seeing he's not seeing the blessing. He's seeing himself as a victim. We need to not be in that energy, guys. But that's the energy that we're in. So in an effort to pivot that, we just need to think a little bit differently, okay? We don't need to turn it all the way around completely 100%. We, in one minute, you know, that would be shocking. So we pivot a little bit at a time, right? Like this world, it turns, right? As the world turns. Do you guys remember that? Oh my gosh, I might be dating myself here, but that was a soap opera back in the day. Oh, and then we've got the Ace of Wands. Look at that new beginning, guys. That's new creation, new beginnings, new transformation. I see that butterfly as transformation, and wands are about creativity and desire, and you're wanting this new thing, right? But you're not willing to accept it, to bring it with new energy. And the star, look at that. The star is in there. She's got everything she needs. It's the number 17 card. 17, typically in roulette, I used to be a pit boss, is the most common hit number in roulette. And it is the centermost part of the roulette board. And it is the star. I mean, it's wishes come true and true love. The lovers, look at that. It's whatever it is you're bringing in is coming in, but you've got to accept it. You've got to let go of the old to bring in the new. You have got to let yourself have the new beginning in order to get that which you want. You've got to look at things in a new perspective to even begin to transform and create that which you have into that which you want, and look at things with new eyes for that old cycle to end. It is, I want to read the star for you. I don't actually get that card very much, but it's inner clarity, it's miracles, it's your manifestations, it's wishes come true. It's all of this is waiting for you guys, all of this. But you've got to reverse this thinking that you have now, right? What is that? Double negative equals positive. When you can do that, when you reverse this reversal back to normal, you'll have your new beginning. You'll have your wishes come true, and then the things that you're wanting to manifest can come in. And the Lovers is typically a romantic card, but I don't see it as romantic in this set. I see it as allowing those things that you've asked to come in and seeing them for the good that they are. It's partnership. It's balance. It is the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming together to balance out the energies of late. Guys, we have big energies happening, right? I know there's something I'm not an astrologist, but astrologer, but there's something going on with Uranus right now, and Uranus is all about destroying the old way of doing things and tossing out the rules, right? Uranus is the rule breaker. It is the energy of letting things go and looking at them with a different perspective, right? It's trying to see a new way of doing things. It's thinking outside the box, literally, you know, thinking outside the box. What can you look at differently? What can you do differently that will bring you a different result? What is that saying? If you keep doing what you always did, you'll keep getting what you always got. So unless you keep wanting what you've always gotten, you need to do something different. You know, and I heard something this morning about a lighthouse, and as I look up, I keep seeing the lighthouse that I have in my room out of the corner of my eye. And what does a lighthouse do, guys? Lighthouse doesn't run around and, like a banshee, force everyone to do what it is they want them to do, right? It's no control. It is allowing those boats to take whatever path they need to come into port, but allowing them the light by which to see their path. But there's a million paths to take, right? Everybody doesn't have to take the same path, and it would be very congested if everyone did, if you think about it from a boat perspective, right? You don't want everyone in a row, in a line, like a bunch of robots, because somebody's going to try to get in front of you, and there's eventually going to be an accident. But if you let them take their own path and they all go side by side, there's enough ocean to allow all of those boats to come into the light in their own time, in their own path, in their own way. And I think maybe that's what this is saying. You know, maybe the cycle of forcing that knowledge or control or path or wisdom on others needs to come to an end, right? You're preventing their new beginning. You're preventing your new beginning. Shine your light and walk away. You know, do whatever it was you needed to do. Know that you've invested. Know that your investment will pay off. Maybe it doesn't pay off for you. Maybe it pays off for someone else. And that's okay, because that's what serving our community is all about, guys. It's not about being selfish. It's about appreciating and seeing things the way they are and appreciating exactly the way they are and not trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Because in doing so, all you do is find frustration. And that's not where we need to be, right? That's the old way of doing things. The old way of conforming, the old way of making everyone do the same thing. And in the new 5D, it's new creativity. It's new ideas. You know, the star is Aquarian energy. It's that energy of Woodstock, right? And everybody thought everybody in Woodstock was absolutely batshit crazy, right? And maybe they were. They might have been on a lot of drugs. Who knows? But either way, it was all about peace and love. And we can never go wrong when we come at anything from a place of love, which, you know, there's our lovers there. Bring love to everything. Everything you do. Good, bad, or otherwise. Do it with love. And you can't go wrong. You know, we're healing, guys. And not everybody heals in the same way, in the same time frame, in the same anything, right? It's our healing is as unique as our fingerprints and our desires and our wishes and our path and our missions, and that which we came here to do is as unique as our fingerprints. And no two people are going to be on the same path all the time. You know, I had sent my cousin a graphic yesterday trying to explain how to let people go in your life. And if you think about the sound frequencies on a graph, you see a lot of waves that go up and down, right? And then there's another overlay of waves that go up and down. Well, those paths only cross for a certain amount of time when your vibrations match. And then they go away. And they might come back and they might not. But that's not for you to worry about, ruminate on, or anything like that. And if you think about it from a music perspective, if a song was only ever one note, it would be boring. Nobody would listen to that. You know, you don't want your life to not change. And if you have a life that's so perfect, you don't want it to change, then by all means, maybe that's your path. You know, like I said, Uranus, Aquarian energy, thinking outside the box. I mean, maybe you don't want to evolve, and that's fine. Maybe you're happy doing what you're doing. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to move on, if you want to gain knowledge and gain evolution and growth in your spirituality, then it's about movement. You can't stand still. There's no stagnation in growth, right? There's a time for rest and there's a time for action. And that's okay. Because you know what? Maybe things are so good that you don't want them to change. But what if they got better? You know, and you think, well, what could be better than this? Well, maybe you don't know, but the divine knows. God, Spirit, Source, Creator knows. And He's trying to give you that. He's trying to give you the better. And you have to be willing to see it, to accept it, to allow it in, to balance it out. And our healing card for today is, every time you think of me, it's because I'm thinking of you first. So there is not a thought in your head that you have had that your higher self hasn't already had. If you're thinking about a person, then chances are they are thinking about you. Especially in those cases when you think about someone that you haven't thought about in a really long time and there's no reason for you to think about them. That's usually my clue that that person is thinking about you. When we have relationships, they are energetically tied, okay? They create an etheric cord, if you will, to that person. And there are things such as cord cuttings and so forth, and things you can do to try to break that energetic cord. And at the end of the day, the cord cutting ceremonies are only as effective as your intention behind it. Okay, if you are doing a cord cutting because you can't stop thinking about someone, the cord cutting is likely not going to work, right? You have to want to stop thinking about that person. It's just like with any change, right, in our world. You can say you want change all you want, but until you actually truly in your heart of hearts want that change, it's not going to change. You know, that's why you hear some people say, oh, well, quitting smoking was easy for me. And other people say it was so hard. The person that it was easy for truly wanted it in their heart of hearts. They wanted, their inner being wanted it. Their soul, their heart, their inner essence wanted it before they even knew they wanted that. And that's what made it easy for them. Because at the end of the day, guys, nothing controls us. Nothing. We control ourselves. And it's the limiting beliefs behind those things that keep us stuck or keep us stagnant or keep us believing that we can't change whatever it is we need to change. You know, we're the painter. We're the artist of our own life. We're painting that picture. And we can change colors. We can start over. We can do whatever we want to do because we are the creator, if you will, of our own destiny, of our own lives. And there's nothing so big or so daunting or so overwhelming that it can't be changed, that it can't be corrected, that it can't be destroyed and starting new with, right? But you got to walk away from it. You got to cut the cord to it. There's a joke with adult children, right? You got to cut the cord, the umbilical cord. So think about the fact that the relationships in your lives all have cords. And when you're ready to let those relationships go, let them go with love. And that cord disappears. There's no reason for the cutting, right? It just disappears. I'm actually going to get a message for us from the guides. I feel like guides are with us in this energy and screaming at us in a way, because we're not seeing the picture, the big picture, right? We're trying to do things the way we've always done. And even in our evolved spirituality, you know, maybe whatever you did today isn't what you need to do tomorrow. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, guys. A mistake is nothing more than a course correction, right? It's not something that you ruminate on and say that you did wrong for the rest of your life and you never try again. Learn from them and then do it again and live your bliss. I mean, I don't know how to get any clearer than that from the guides, but know that even if you did something wrong, there was something good to be gained by it and knowledge to be gained by it. So when you come at that thing again, then it will have different results because you will have come at it with more knowledge. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk right now. So I'm going to read Learn from Your Mistakes. This is the message from the guides from James von Prague. So let's see what Mr. James has to say about Learn from Your Mistakes. Earth is a schoolroom. And that's funny because I've been calling Earth School. I've been saying Earth School for a few days now. It's kind of funny. Earth is a schoolroom. Your higher self has chosen to enroll in this dimension to learn lessons that the spirit world does not teach quickly. Congratulate yourself for the bravery it takes to leave the comfort of feeling at one with everything and choosing to experience the sensation of separateness while you go about your tasks. You are expected to make mistakes. Having said that, it is the wise soul who always learns from them. Life on Earth continually presents you with challenges, and the quick learners find that they are presented with fewer struggles. If this card appears in your spread, your guides are reminding you that the more you use the knowledge of the past experiences when confronted with a life lesson, the less often these lessons will be presented to you. Take responsibility for the mistake and do not look to blame another for the consequences. Instead of blame, move into a state of understanding and acceptance of the lesson. In doing so, you will not need to repeat this behavior in future interactions. In life, there are no failures, just possibilities of doing something different. than you are used to doing by using the knowledge of past experience. So, yeah, there's no mistakes, guys. I mean, it's basically what I just said. And live your bliss. Live your bliss. The emotion of happiness is like a beacon calling you to follow its light. That's like the lighthouse story we were talking about, guys. It's a beacon. When you hold this card in your hand, think of the saying, if it feels good, do it. The physical reactions that you have when you do something that make you happy are like signposts from your guides pointing you in the right direction. Whether you are consciously aware of it or not, there are unique lessons to be learned by following your bliss. Think of the sensations of fulfillment and satisfaction as pearls that are strewn before your soul's journey. They lead you in the right direction. Conversely, if something makes you fatigued or bored, it is also a sign that you have ventured onto a path that will ultimately fulfill your soul's blueprint. On Earth, you will be compelled to various interests or desires. This is because you are coming closer to your soul's nature. Following your dreams is also about letting yourself express your joy. In doing so, you are in alignment with your personal truth. If this card appears often in your spread, it may be time to examine your priorities. Many lessons that you have incarnated to learn, deal with knowing yourself well enough to take chances to follow through on what your soul is telling you, even though it may not seem rational or make sense. And specifically with this card, guys, I feel like if you are doing things because you're being told to do them, or if you are doing things to make other people happy and they're not making you happy, then course correct. Okay? Learn from that mistake. Follow your bliss. If it feels good, then do it. If it doesn't feel good, then don't. That is just for you. That's not for anyone else. And your path might not be their path, and their path might not be your path. And maybe they cross for a little bit. And maybe they stay on the same vibe for the rest of your life. That's possible. But maybe they don't. But when it starts to not feel good, it's time to go. You know, follow your emotions. There's something called an emotional guidance scale Esther Hicks put out. You guys can Google it, but she speaks of you don't have to go from despair to bliss in one step. You can't. There's a ladder of emotions you've got to climb, and you just look for the next better feeling thought. Okay? Sadness is better than anger. And I can't remember them all, so I don't want to mess them up. But go look that up and figure out which feeling is just a little bit better than the feeling that you have if it's negative, right? And even if it's positive, even if you're happy, can you get from happy to joy? Can you get from joy to bliss? You know, find that next better feeling thought for yourself and climb, okay? And I got that song from Miley Cyrus, To Climb, so somebody go listen to that song. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. You guys have a wonderful day. It was a great message. Didn't start out super great, but you know what? We learned. We learned from the mistakes of the past. And now it's time to live your bliss. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Love you so much. We'll talk soon. Love and light.